My sister-in-law asked me for a sling bag, and the fun thing about it is that it's going to be a huge one, a maxi sling bag. I've made handbags, I'll leave you the links in the description down below, and if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it and it helps the channel a lot, and that way you don't miss anything because I upload a video every week. We're going to cut the pieces needed in our faux leather and lining, and start with the top by sewing together the lining and leather with the zip in between. Then top stitching and doing the same with the front. We can now add the side pieces and start working with the back, sewing lining with lining and leather with leather. Then top stitching and finishing the lining, so we can then sew the tape that holds the closure. And because everything's going to be maxi, I have a chunky zip and closure with a tape, a white one. It's going to be leather, so I have, well, faux leather. I have some faux leather in black and a fun print to go as lining. Because my zip is 40 centimeters long, I'm going to take my measurements according to this. So my sling bag is going to be 50 centimeters long and I think 25 centimeters wide with this boat shape on the bottom. And then the top is going to be this 40 centimeters and only 10 wide. And apart from this, we need two pieces for the sides that are going to allow us to sew together the front and back with this shape, with the same shape as the back. I have all my pieces cut, and even though I traced it a lot, I tried different shapes and what I like, I went with my gut and I just folded it, and once I had my width, I cut the rest as I wanted it to, and then I used it as a template for the front, and with these two, one on top of the other, I shaped these two sides. So that's it really. And now I'm going to cut the same of lining. I didn't have enough of this fun cotton for all the lining, so the front of the sling bag is going to be in a black lining, well, the inside. So I'm going to start sandwiching the lining, zip and top, the leather, the faux leather, so I can start there. My zips is one of these that comes apart, so it'll be easy to sew. It looks really nice once you put it right sides out, and I also top stitch this seam so it flattens, because if not it won't settle, that seam won't settle. And now I'm going to do the same with the front of the sling bag. Why did I do the front with the zip first? I think it was the best option because I wanted to be really nice and to have a nice detail, so it was, I follow my instincts. So now I'm going to do the rest of the sling bag. And the next step is going to be to sew the rest of the sling bag, but not sandwich it together like the front, with the lining as well, but separately. Leather with leather and lining with lining. And the first is going to be the two sides. Once the front is sewn, I'm going to just open the seam and on the right side top stitch it, leaving the seam inside on the front, so it gives it more shape. When putting it right size out, it's a good idea to just pinch it with your scissors to give it a few snips so this curve settles and doesn't look wavy. The good thing about the zip is that we can turn it inside out as many times as we need to, and I'm going to do that in order to sew the lining, but only the bottom bit, like the boat bit. And this top of the lining that is still open, I'm going to just fold it each side once and sew it on the outside. It's not going to be seen because it's the inside, and it doesn't matter. Now you see it a bit tighter, but it doesn't matter because it's the inside, and the inside, the lining always needs to be a little bit smaller, shorter than the outside. Looking nice. And of course, to top stitch this bit of the lid, I could only do it on this wider bit because of course the sides are too narrow and you cannot put the sewing machine through them. That's something to think about in the future. And to put the taping, I just want to fold the side to the inside, put the tape in and sew. But I tried with this one and the machine suffers a little bit. And now I have to, I manage, it's not going anywhere, is it? And I have to figure out how to put it on the other side. To the machine. And this is the final result. I'm quite happy with it. I think it looks quite neat. I'm not sure about the shape I made it. I don't know if I made it too low, but if so, you could easily change it by ripping out the lining and sew it a bit narrower, a bit closer to the top, so it's not as curvy down here, but it could be fixable. One thing that scared me a lot is that this zips is one of those that you can use in jackets because you can undo them, and it was undone and I thought, oh my god, I sewed it wrong, now I have to undo everything, but no, it's okay. I'll tell my sister-in-law. And then it turned out a bit smaller than I imagined it because I was working with a bit of remnant I had and it was all I had. So, but it's not small, it's quite huge. But I was imagining it a bit longer. And one thing I'm not completely sure about is how I'm tying it up. I don't know if this is secure enough. I don't know if it needs to go round again, but I don't know how to do it. So that's it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought, if you liked it, if you're going to make one for a Secret Santa or anything like that. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, or even to share it with someone who might like this content. So that way, I'll see you next week. Bye!